Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tara and I make videos about digital planning and different ways for you to get creative with your iPad. So, if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, feel free to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you never miss a video. That all being said, let's go ahead and jump into the purpose of today's video. Today's video, we are going to be doing my daily setup for the month of September. But as requested, I'm doing some after the pen videos or portions at the beginning of each of my videos now. So let's take a look at what August looked like and then we'll jump into September. So for August daily setup, I actually do tend to keep my daily setup pretty similar, at least now. I designed this planner with a specific sort of like workflow in mind for how I would do my daily planning, and I love it and I'm obsessed. I use this actually every day. It's probably the part of my planner that I am most committed to, and it just works for me. And I realize that everyone's going to be different. Some people prefer to use a weekly planner over a daily planner. Sometimes daily planners exhaust people, but personally, it's what works for me. So my daily planner is my favorite thing. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that. So firstly, I kept all of the sections the same, though you can see I didn't fill out my gratitude, and that's pretty consistent throughout the month, unfortunately. And so I've been thinking about this, and I think I'm going to change this month and see if this can serve me in a different way. So instead of it saying gratitude, we're going to say something different, but you'll have to wait and see what I do with that. So I tend to use my top 3 priorities. This is definitely more of a preference thing for me. Using my to-do list and my setup for like the day and chunking out my time is probably the most beneficial part of it all for me. But I like to have areas that can catch my ideas as well, because I feel like my brain is too overactive. So I like to put things in my future tasks here for projects that come to mind, but maybe they're just not a priority for today. And I like to have a space for brain dumping just in case. Now, I have gotten into the habit of journaling in a notebook lately, and so I haven't been brain dumping as much in my planner, but sometimes this space is helpful when it comes to planning out my day or doing just about anything else that comes up. While I've got my planner open, I can scribble ideas here, I can erase it, I can keep it. It doesn't really matter, but I like to have something there. And yeah, I actually used it on this day, and I was mostly just like venting about the fact that I was feeling overwhelmed. I needed to figure some things out. It's there. It's a safe space for me to just put ideas. Sometimes I use it to help me organize what I'm going to be doing for the day. It really just depends. But the beauty of a brain dump is that there is no rhyme or reason to what you're doing. You're just getting stuff out. And so that is really the benefit of having a space like this, is that it allows me to do that sort of thing. As you can see on this day, I didn't really start my day until like 1:30. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I overslept. I don't know what. I wanted to go out and DoorDash that day and just make a little bit of extra cash just to help me get by. And so you can see I didn't end up doing that, where I think had I either gotten up and did it in the morning, or had I not did whatever I did this morning, I would have had time to do that. And so if a task gets removed from my list of things to do for the day, I will just fill in the circle and then draw a line through it. If something didn't get accomplished that day, but it needs to be accomplished like the next day, I will put a little arrow to the right, a little carrot that tells me to, migrate this to tomorrow's to-do list, and then an X if I've completed it. That's kind of how I keep my to-do list organized. You've maybe heard me say this before. I'll use this list once I put everything in there in order to like block out how much time needs to be spent on each of those projects, and then I'll use my little color blocks here in order to fill that in and really just plan out my day. For my priorities, I would like to promise you guys that I use this every single day, but I don't. Usually, like I said, most important thing for me is my to-do list and me time blocking, because otherwise I don't get things done, and it helps me be really reasonable about how much can I actually accomplish in a day. But top 3 priorities is obviously an essential thing. I wish I was more consistent. Yeah, as you can see, I make a lot of things on my to-do list, and so if I were to actually just prioritize those first 3 things and then do the rest, I'd probably feel like I was being more productive. So in theory, I love it. Some days I use it and it's fantastic, and other days it goes empty. Future tasks is something that I use a few different ways. So sometimes it's like a project that I know that somebody has already booked me for. I've already got this commission project and I need to work on that sometime this month, but it's not necessarily today. But if I don't keep it written down and like visible to me on the daily, I'll probably forget about it. So like one of my friends has commissioned me to do some illustrations for one of her books that she's writing, and we're just doing like story by story. It's like not something I have to work on today, but it's definitely something that I need to keep in mind. So that is there. And then I have another commission project as well, creating a banner for my creative coach. Then the rest of the things are like little projects and stuff that I want to work on. Like I want to make some election stickers. I want to make another font. I want to make my planner for the end of the year, right? It's getting to be that time where I need to get my planner going. And so these are also just things that like I said, I just want to keep at the forefront of my mind. Yeah, that's August. I think it's beautiful. It was very functional. I'm very partial to my daily plans. You guys know that at this point. But let's go ahead and jump into September. We can just do any day this first week. Start with September 4th. And what we're gonna do here is pretty similar to what I usually do. So I'm gonna start off by grabbing my element that has my top 3 priorities, my to-do list, and my tasks to migrate to the future here, and also my gratitude. So I'm just gonna grab that. And don't forget, I did mention, in case you missed it in my other videos, that I am going to be creating a video this month where I just basically summarize all of my favorite daily plan elements and shortcuts that kind of get me through. Keep an eye out for that, especially if you're somebody who hasn't been around and doesn't have all of these elements already saved. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I mentioned I thought I had saved one of these. Turns out I did, and I just didn't look for it last week. So yay, I have it. I'm just gonna line that up, and then I'm gonna cover up the date. I could also just leave it. Let's leave it for now. I really don't like having to like rewrite the date every day of the month. If I want to cover it up, I can, but I think we're gonna keep it for now. Okay, so we'll decide the colors later. Let's go ahead and start to find some of the decorative pieces, and then we'll adjust these colors later. The color palette that we're going to be using today is my favorite color palette, which was the first color palette that was released, which is this one. I really love it. And actually what we're going to do, let's undo, and let's grab this one, and we're going to put it over top of the little September so we can still use that cute sticker. And again, if you missed that, I forgot to include it in the sets, so you can download that on Patreon. Even the free tier has access to these. So I'm just gonna copy this and we're gonna paste it. It's a really easy place to start. I'm just gonna put that up there. Super cute. Okay, and let's take a look. So these colors are my favorite, which is why I've chosen them for the daily plan. I think they are gonna work out perfectly. And I wanna use this note section here, so let's copy this one. And we're gonna paste it. And I designed it with the intentions of it fitting in either here or here. This one you could probably get away with warping. Let's test it out a little bit and just see if I like drag it out and make it a little wider. Yeah, it's not too bad. Sometimes you warp stickers and they just look horrible, but this is gonna be a great place to brain dump and it fits in there nicely. And yeah, I'm content with that. Okay, so I do have an idea. Let's come back to our elements. We're gonna bring that plain one back. Okay, so we're just gonna add in my plain background color element, and then we're gonna grab our image tool and use our image tool in order to resize this. And I am gonna cover up the date here. And I changed my mind because I love this sticker, first of all, so let's duplicate this one. But I forgot that I had this adorable sticker, so we're going to copy this one. And this is going to give us the perfect space to just write the date. So I'm just gonna move these over a little bit using my image tool, since there's now that white element underneath. And then we just need our pen. So the color is this like peach color. And we're just going to grab that, and I will link the colors up here. And we're just going to write 4. Great, and so every single day we can just change it on there, and I think that that works. Okay, so I think I want to do more decorations. I want to figure out something to put on the dates here so I can move that along. I definitely want to fill this with some decorations and this space with decorations, kind of all around here. So we're going to nix the photo idea. I don't think that's necessary. And let's just make this cute. Let's grab the pumpkin season. Let's turn on our images and then grab the pumpkin season laptop. We're gonna put it here. Let's grab this cute pumpkin, and I'm gonna grab it with the T. I think I like the backpack. We're gonna copy this one, and we're gonna paste it. Actually, let's grab the leaves first, because I think I'm gonna use them in the background. So let's copy, come back to our planner, and paste these. And I am just going to duplicate these just so I have plenty to work with and I don't have to worry about relayering. And then I'm gonna grab these 3 and I'm going to copy them and I'm going to paste them. And then let's grab our image tool here. And I'm just going to place these around in different sizes and just kind of vary them. They look really cute layered like that. I'm content with that. I think that looks really cute. Everything looks really bad with these colors in here. I feel like I could just change them now. Let's do that. So I have this. This is blue. I think we're going to make this one the light blue. So let's grab this and we're going to change the color and find our light blue. And then we can change probably this one maybe to the pink. We can change maybe this one to the lighter pink. And then we'll change this one to the dark blue. Okay, and then what I need to do is add in the brush strokes. So we're going to come back here, find our brush strokes, select these 4 and copy them, come back to our planner and paste. And then what I'm gonna do is take my lasso tool and just turn on text boxes only. And we are going to cut the text boxes here. Using our image tool, we can match these. So I'm just going to bring these up and you can match them perfectly or you can just get them close enough, whatever you are happy with. And then I'm just going to move this one down, cut this one or delete it because it doesn't really have to be saved and just fill that in there. Next, we'll do this blue one. I can already tell this is such a transformation. Like as soon as you just change these colors, everything stops clashing, everything looks a little bit better. Definitely makes a difference. Okay, this one we are going to rotate. It's going to give us a little bit of variation. And then this one, let's see. I missed the word gratitude, but that's okay. So we're just gonna put these here and I still just have them selected. So you can adjust them if you need to. Like sometimes it's not perfect once you've replaced them. So you can just go in and adjust them. And then down here, I forgot this one, but that's okay. So I can just select it and I can cut it and paste it. If you have Goodnotes 6, you could just bring things forward. But I did mention I wanted to change this. So I'm gonna grab my text tool and tap on the word gratitude. And then what I'm gonna do is I am going to, now my keyboard is populated because I tapped it with my finger and not with my Apple Pencil. And I'm just going to double tap to select all of that. And I'm going to change this to wins. I think a better use of the space since I never really used the gratitude. But in theory, I could also use this as a space for gratitude because if I'm writing down my wins, odds are these are going to be things that I am grateful for how they went for the day. So I'm hoping that just kind of shifting the perspective on it a little bit is going to help me to approach this in a different way. So maybe just using it more as something that feels more like journaling and less like something else I have to like tick off on my list. Maybe, just maybe it'll work better. I'll let you guys know next month. Okay, so I just adjusted the spacing there a little bit and we're just gonna bring this to the center. And actually I'm going to use my image tool to tap on this one and it can be a little smaller now because the word is smaller and that looks better. I like that. And then we're just gonna use our lasso tool. We're gonna change this color here to white. Okay, so now all of these are consistent. It looks good. And we are going to finish up doing something in this space and then we will use all of our leaves. So what do I want to do here? Personally, I really love the blue light blockers and the composition notebooks. Those are some of my favorites. We've got apples, we've got this is cute. We could do more of the light bulbs. There's so many options, you know. Sometimes I want to do multiple layouts because I just want to like get creative and do more things. But realistically, it's just too time consuming to do a bunch of different layouts. I really like this one, but this one also says pumpkin season. And I don't know if it's necessary to have like pumpkin season, pumpkin season, pumpkin season, like everywhere. Let me just copy this. So I'm gonna use my image tool, tap on this and copy it, bring it back to my planner. I'm gonna paste it. Again, I'm just gonna use my image tool to size this. And I think I just want it in the background and I can cut these and bring them forward. So let's cut and paste. And I forgot that I did this one with the teacup and that there's an element in here. So yeah, I'll just cut both of these. I'm gonna move this over, grab this again, paste it. Let's grab some blue light blockers. I think we'll use the pink. Okay, we're just gonna move these down here. I like having the books. I feel like I've used them enough already, but I do like them. Maybe, okay, this could be fun. Let's use the highlighter here. And then I'm gonna make it big enough so that it's like I'm writing the number. And then I can just move it each day. And maybe that will make me feel a little bit more inclined to do the, to change the date without like thinking it's such a pain. The issue now is with the colors. So maybe I'll change the color. Let's do it in the blue. I'm left-handed, so it would come off the other way, but that's not gonna work for visibility purposes. So we're just gonna deal with it. I think this is too big. So grabbing my image tool again, especially in comparison to the notepad. So let's just bring that down. And then I'm going to turn on handwriting only, and we'll select the number here and change the color to that blue. I need to figure out something to use to mark the date. What am I gonna do? Yep, so highlighter it is. So I'm just gonna come to my highlighter and I'm going to put a little circle on the 4th. And if you wanted it to be perfect, you could draw a circle and then hold it and it'll snap. And then if you drag it out, you'll have like space in between. And if you bring it together, then you'll just get like a perfect little circle. What I'm gonna do, let's draw our circle. Let's bring it really close together. And then it made it kind of nice like that. So I actually really like that line. It's not too thick and it's like a perfect circle. So I guess I realized that the closer you get to the center, the more it like the smaller you make it, the bigger it'll make the white circle, which makes the line thinner. Experiment with that. Play with that yourself. Yeah, I like the look of that. So we're going to circle this and change the color. That'll work. I think that'll be fine. And maybe just the leaves now. We'll just kind of decorate, right? I'm going to select all of these and just make them a little bit bigger. And then grabbing our image tool. We're probably not going to use all of these, but we will use some. So I'm just going to kind of place these around. Okay, cool. I think that this works. So I think then the last thing, and I've talked about this so many times before, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do my time blocking. So I personally prefer to use these ones because they have a little bit of transparency to them, but there are other ways to do it too. You could use any of these like ombre effects. You could use a solid color. It's completely up to you, but you just take a design that you like. We're gonna copy it and we're gonna paste it. And I'm sizing these up for now. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab my image tool and I'm just going to crop these down to a rectangle. Okay, so I've done this before, maybe once or twice now, and I'm also going to put it in my video that I create later this month with my shortcuts, things that I, redo consistently. So with that in mind, I am still going to show this hack this time, but this will probably be the last time that I do it in a video. So once that's out in the shortcut video, I'll just probably kind of skip over that content or just, reference back to how I do that so that I can save your precious time while watching these videos. If you already know how to do this, you can feel free to skip forward into the end as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a straight line. And I actually want it to be a thinner line. That's going to help me just to get things more precise. So we're going to draw a straight line. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to grab my image tool. I am going to size this one time so that it fits absolutely perfectly in the edges here. You can choose to include the time if you'd like. I usually don't. And then I'm adjusting the height as well, but that part's not essential. You can always do that later. In fact, we're designing these specifically so that their width stays perfect, but you can just adjust the height arrow to adjust the length of time that you are time blocking in your schedule. So we're just going to make that fit inside of one of these. And once that fits and we're happy with it, you can take your image tool, and we want to take this arrow and line it up absolutely perfectly with this straight line. It's okay that this is now making it off center, because really what we want to do now is, once we know that this line and that arrow are perfectly in line or pretty dang close, we are going to take our image tool with handwriting and images selected, and we are going to select these both simultaneously and just drag it over so that the box is now perfectly in line. And what this does is this gives our center line, we know it is now perfectly in the center of this space. The reason that's important is because Goodnotes sizes things outward from the center, which can be really frustrating sometimes if you're trying to get something to fit in a specific space, rather than just like lining it up on the edge and pulling it out this way. It only sizes from the center. That means what we can do here now, very exciting, is we are just going to take our image tool, tap on the next one, and just line it up with that line. And now when we size it, once we see that it's good on the sides, we know that it's a piece of cake, right? Everything's good there. Everything looks perfectly in line, and you can just adjust your height for now, which will be adjusted later, so it doesn't have to be super perfect. So now our edges are where they need to be, and this just makes the process so much faster, because if I were to just try to size this up on my own, I would be going back and forth and trying to center it, and it would just be a real pain, and there'd always be gaps or something. So the easiest way to do that is to hack it by just making sure that this line and the arrow are in line, and then you can draw out the edges, and then it's like you just do it once. It's so easy. And then you just put it back and adjust the height. Everything looks great. We can now take our eraser with our stroke eraser on and just erase. Now I usually use about 8 of these a day, so I'm just going to select this and duplicate it and then just drag it down. And now I've got 8 of them that I can use and block out my day. And I like to put these on the bottom here, because then when I go and I write them in later, when I plan out my day, then I can just move these and I don't have to worry about relayering anything, because everything's already perfect. That is everything. That's my video for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed how this turned out. I will definitely let you know if I end up using my wins more than I use my gratitude. We'll have to see. That's all for now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I love you so much. You are the best. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!